Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the session with a prayer from Galaxy.
നന്ദിയോടെ ഞാൻ സ്തുതി പാടിടും എന്റെ യേശുനാഥ. എനിക്കായി നീ ചെയ്തൊരു നന്മയ്ക്കും ഇന്നു നന്ദി ചൊല്ലും ഞാൻ. അഴിക്കാത്ത നന്മകളും എനിക്കേകിടും ദയാനിധി. യാചിക്കാത്ത നന്മകൾ പോലും എനിക്കേകിയോന് സ്തുതി. യാചിക്കാത്ത നന്മകൾ പോലും എനിക്കേകിയോൻ സ്തുതി.
So, welcome back. To give you a recap of what we had been discussing in the previous sessions, we were talking of Einstein, Albert Einstein, the great scientist. In fact, the greatest scientist after the likes of people like Isaac Newton. So, he is considered to be the greatest scientist who came after Isaac Newton, several centuries after Newton. And Einstein is considered to be a great genius. But in this excerpt that we are learning from his biography, we find that he was not considered as a very bright student at school. So Einstein had a very different idea of education. His concept of education was totally different from what is being spread even today as the idea of education. So we find in this biographical piece that Einstein has a lot of problems with his teacher. Especially in the history class, that is where the chapter opens, where in the history class the teacher asks him about a date of a particular event in history, and Einstein is not able to recollect. He does not remember the date, and he is severely scolded by the teacher. And Einstein remarks that his idea of education is not learning fact, but learning ideas. So there is the major difference between his ideas of education and those that of the school and the teachers. We also find that he has problems not only in the school, but also in the boarding, where he lives in a kind of neighborhood where there are a lot of violence outside the house as well as in the boarding that he lives in, because the landlady beats her children and her husband comes and beats her every Saturday. So these kinds of difficulties are faced by Einstein, and he has only a couple of people to share these problems with. One is his friend Yuri, and the other is his cousin Elsa. So he shares his problems with Yuri and also with Elsa, and he tells Elsa that he may not be able to complete his diploma. So his cousin Elsa, who also is in Germany but in a different city, so he meets her and she advises him that you just need to learn things by heart. So you don't have to be too brilliant to learn any subject. You just need to be able to learn things by heart. So that is the advice that Elsa gives Einstein, and that is where we stopped in the previous class. So let us take up from where we left off in the previous class. So Einstein says that I think I never passed the exams for the diploma. So Elsa advises him, it should not be a problem for you, because shouldn't it be a problem for you, because if you can learn things by heart, then it should be easy for you to That is the way she Einstein. So she tells him, I know a lot of students who are more stupid than you are, yet they are able to get through. Get through means pass the exam. So she says that you don't have to learn anything, you don't have to know anything. So this is the all the things that she is speaking in this paragraph. They are the indication of the problems with the education that we have now. നമ്മുടെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളെയാണ് എൽസ ചൂണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്. Okay, there is some could be some internet connectivity problem. Let's see. Okay, I'll check. Okay, so she says that there are a lot of people who are more stupid than you are, but I have seen them that they are able to clear the exams. So you don't have to understand what you are taught in the school. You just need to be able to repeat it in the exams. You just need to vomit it, like it is as if you are swallowing it and vomiting it in the paper, in the examination papers, the suggestion that she makes. So this is what happens in the exams, most of the exams that we appear in. We just learn. So there is no understanding involved. There is only knowledge. So Einstein never tried to equate information with knowledge. So he didn't think that information is knowledge. So that was his problem. So in this paragraph, we can see that he tells what his problem is. The problem is Einstein is that he cannot learn things by heart. That is the problem. So he tells, I have this problem. I am unable to learn things by heart. So that is the next paragraph. I'll ask Ranima to read the next paragraph.
Hello?
Yes.
That's the whole trouble, said Albert. I'm no good at learning things by heart. You don't need to be good at it. Anyone can learn like a parrot. You just don't try. And yet, I always see you with a book under your arm, added Elsa. What is the one you're reading? A book on geology. Geology? Rocks and things. Do you learn that? No. We have hardly any science at school. Then why are you studying it? Because I like it. Isn't that a good enough reason?
Yes. So look at Albert's reason for reading something. We read something because it is prescribed for the exam. We read or study things only which are prescribed for the exam. Read may only be for entertainment. നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കാനുള്ളതാണ് പഠിക്കും. അല്ലാത്ത പുസ്തകങ്ങളൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ വായിച്ച് രസിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി വായിക്കും. പക്ഷെ ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ പുസ്തകങ്ങള് സ്കൂളിൽ ആവശ്യമുള്ള പുസ്തകങ്ങൾ തന്നെ ആവണമെന്നില്ല. എന്ന് മാത്രമല്ല പലപ്പോഴും അങ്ങനത്തെ അല്ല. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് ദി എക്സാം Einstein had been reading a book on geology, which is not prescribed in school. സ്കൂളിലില്ലാത്തൊരു ടോപ്പിക്കാണ്. ആ ടോപ്പിക്കിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള പുസ്തകം പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ. So his interest is in to learn and understand things. He is not. His problem is that he cannot learn. Okay, so his problem is that he cannot learn things by heart, and he has problems learning things by heart. So she is asking him, "So you are already learning something? What is that you are reading now?" So he says, "I am reading a book on geology." Geology is a topic. Geo means earth, and geology is the study of the surface of the earth. It tells about the nature of the soil, the surface of the earth, rocks, etc. So she and Einstein says we don't have this topic at all in school. Then why are you studying it? So he says, I like it. Isn't that a good enough reason? So yeah, a reason that I like something is good enough for me to read. Is not my studying things is not based on whether it is prescribed for the syllabus. നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പോ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഇത് സിലബസിലുണ്ടോ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത് പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് വരൂ എന്നൊക്കെ നോക്കിയിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കുന്നത്. So Einstein says that is not a very good way of learning. You have to take interest in the things that you are learning. അപ്പോൾ സിലബസിലുണ്ടോ പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് വരുന്നതാണോ എന്ന് നോക്കിയല്ല ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ്റെ പഠനം. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ മേജർ ഡിഫറൻസ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ഓർഡിനറി സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആൻഡ് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ. നമ്മളും ഐൻസ്റ്റീനും തമ്മിൽ പലതരത്തിൽ സാമ്യങ്ങളുണ്ട്, പലതരത്തിലും വ്യത്യാസങ്ങളുണ്ട്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് വി അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് നൗ. ഓക്കെ, so we move on to the next paragraph. Anasuya.
Sir. Elsa sighed. You are right, of course, Albert, she said. But it won't help with your diploma. Apart from books on science, his only comfort was music, and he played his violin regularly until his landlady asked him to stop. That violin gets on my nerves.
She said. I can't hear you. Sound away. വായിച്ചായിരുന്നു നമ്മൾ വരുന്നത് ഹൈലൈറ്റ് ചെയ്ത ഭാഗം, അത് എനിക്ക് കേൾക്കാത്തതാണ്. Okay, so Albert told Elsa, his cousin, that I am not good at learning things by heart. So Elsa is sighing. She sighed. What is sigh? What do you mean by a sigh? എൽസ സൈഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അതൊരു ബോഡി എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ ആണ്. വാട്ട് ഈസ് സൈ? ബോഡി ലാംഗ്വേജിൽ വരുന്നതാണ് സൈ. യെസ്, ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് എ കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ബ്രീതിങ്. ദീർഘനിശ്വാസം. യെസ്, ദീർഘനിശ്വാസമാണ് സൈ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതായത് ഇവനെ എങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞു മനസ്സിലാക്കും എന്നുള്ളൊരു saying. So she doesn't understand how to make Einstein know the simple method of preparing and doing his exams. Yes. Oh, she said. So she agrees that you are right. നമുക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ളത് തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മൾ വായിക്കേണ്ടത്. പക്ഷേ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഡിപ്ലോമയ്ക്ക് പ്രയോജനമൊന്നും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. നമ്മൾ വായിക്കുന്ന പുസ്തകം ഡിപ്ലോമയായിട്ട് ബന്ധമില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡിപ്ലോമയ്ക്ക് പ്രയോജനമൊന്നും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ഐൻസ്റ്റീന് നിർബന്ധമില്ല ഡിപ്ലോമയ്ക്ക് പ്രയോജനം ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്. കാരണം ഡിപ്ലോമയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി അല്ല ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ പഠിക്കുന്നത്. ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ പഠിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി, കൂടുതൽ കാര്യങ്ങൾ അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ പഠിക്കുന്നത്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ഡിഫറൻസ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ ആൻഡ് ordinary students like me. So she says that you should read the books that you like, but they are not going to help you with your diploma. So Einstein was not only interested in books, he was also interested in music, and he played his violin. He was a good musician. He used to play his violin regularly. That was his only relaxation while he was staying in the hostel, in the boarding. So, but the problem is that when he starts playing the violin, the landlady will become angry with him. So she will start scolding, shouting. She will say that wailing means, what is the meaning of wailing? What is wailing? Gets on my nerves. Can you understand the meaning of that word from the context? Understanding meaning from context. Can you understand? That's an unfamiliar word, പക്ഷെ ആ കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റ് എന്നതിന്റെ മീനിങ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. സങ്കടം, കരച്ചിൽ. വെയിലിംഗ് ഇസ് ക്രൈയിങ്, കരച്ചിൽ. എന്തിന്റെ കരച്ചിൽ? ഈ വയലിലേക്കുന്നൊരു കരയുന്നൊരു സൗണ്ടാണ്. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു കരച്ചിൽ എനിക്ക് കേൾക്കുമ്പോ ദേഷ്യം വരും എന്നാണ് അവർ പറയുന്നത്, അവര് ലാൻഡ് ലേഡി. ഇവിടെ തന്നെ ഓൾറെഡി ഒരുപാട് ബഹളമുണ്ട്. ഏത് പിള്ളേരും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. എങ്ങനെ പിള്ളേർ പറയുന്നതുകൊണ്ടാണ്, ഇവരടിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. സോ there is already enough noise in this house with all these children shouting. അത് കൂടാതെ അത് പോരാണ്ടാണ് നിന്റെ വീണ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് അപ്പൊ ആൽബർട്ടിന് പറയണമെന്നുണ്ട്, ആ പിള്ളേര് കരയാൻ കാരണം നിങ്ങൾ പറയണമെന്നുണ്ട്. He decided it is better to say nothing. അപ്പൊ അവരോട് എന്തെങ്കിലും പിന്നെ അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇറങ്ങി പോകണമെന്ന്. So he doesn't tell her anything. He wanted to think about this because of you that these children are calling only. So he wants to point to landlady that it is because of her that the kids are howling in the house. But he decided to be quiet. He decided not to say anything. So he has, Einstein, you can see that he has problems both at his house, the place of schooling, as well as in the school. So he is trying to find out how he what is the solution that he can. So the only solution is that he wants to leave this place. So that is what he is trying to do. So the teacher has also suggested, why don't you leave this place? We could have, where ഇവിടെ പഠിക്കാൻ ഇഷ്ടമില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ തുടരേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല, ടി സി മേടിച്ച് സ്ഥലം വിടാൻ ടീച്ചറും പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു. സോ ഹി ഈസ് ട്രൈങ് ടു തിങ്ക് ഓഫ് വാട്ട് ഇസ് ദ സൊല്യൂഷൻ. അങ്ങനെ വെറുതെ ടി സി മേടിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. പേരൻസിനോട് പോയി പറഞ്ഞ പേരൻസ് പറയും ഡിപ്ലോമയും കൊണ്ട് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് കയറിയാൽ മതി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. സോ ദർ ഇസ് നോ hope from parents that I cannot tell my parents that I am not interested in continuing my studies. So he wants to find out some other way of getting out of the school. So he discusses these things with Yuri again, and that is the next paragraph. Okay. Sri Lakshmi KR.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I must get away from her, he told Yuri after 6 months alone in Munich. It is absurd that I should go on like this. In the end, it will turn out I have been wasting my father's money and everyone's time. It will be better for all if I stop now. And then what will you do? Yuri asked. I don't know. If I go to Milan, I am afraid my father will send me back, unless his eyes gleamed with a sudden idea. Yuri, do you know any friendly doctors? I know
Any friendly doctors?
I know a lot of medical students, and some of them are friendly, said Yuri. Doctor, no, I have never had enough money to go to one. Why?
Yes. So he decides he wants to go away from that school. He wants to leave that school. He wants to go back to his house. So he tells Yuri, after living for 6 months more in Munich, he tells him, it is absurd. Absurd means foolish. It is absurd. Absurd means foolish. I cannot continue like this here. It is foolish to continue like this. What will happen? In the end, it will turn out, means it will result. Turn out means result. What will be the result if I continue like this? The result will be that I'll be wasting my parents' money and everyone's time. So my father is spending so much money for my education, and I will be wasting his money if I continue here like this, because I'm not able to prepare well for the diploma. So I will be wasting the teacher's time in the class. എൻ്റെ സമയവും ക്ലാസ്സിൽ വേസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ നല്ലത് എന്താണ്? ഇതെല്ലാം അവസാനിപ്പിച്ച് വീട്ടിൽ പോവാണ് നല്ലത്. So that is Einstein's plan. He wants to stop so that he can save the money of his father as well as the time of everyone. His time is getting wasted, the teacher's time is getting wasted, the other students' time are getting wasted, because when the teacher is scolding you, not only is your time getting wasted, the other students who are studying, their time is also getting wasted. So I waste everyone's time and money. So he decides, or the other plans, തീരുമാനിച്ചിട്ടില്ല എങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് അറിയില്ല. So he is planning how to stop, how to leave this place. So Yuri asks him, do you have any plan? What will you do? So if you want to go, it is well and good. നല്ലതാണ്, വേറെ വല്ല നല്ല. What will you do after? ഇതിപ്പോ ഡിപ്ലോമ ഉണ്ടാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് വെറുതെ വീട്ടിലിരിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. You have to do something. So what? So Yuri is asking, so whenever you plan and decide something, you should have a vision for the future. അങ്ങനെയല്ലാതെ വെറുതെ എന്തെങ്കിലും തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നതിൽ അർത്ഥമില്ല. So that is why Yuri is asking him, do you have any plan for the future? Do you have any vision what you will do if you stop this diploma? He says, I don't. So if I just go from here, I don't think my parents will allow me to continue here. So he is asking him, do you know any friendly doctors? If if I go to Milan, Milan is the city in Italy from where he comes. Italian Einstein Swadesh. His father is there. That's a city in Italy, and he has this fear that if he goes to his home, his father is likely to send him back. He wants to get some peace back, so that is he'll ask back. So his eyes shine, gleaming means shine with a sudden light. He gets here. Asks you to bring so he is planning something. Probably എന്തിനായിരിക്കും ഡോക്ടറെ അന്വേഷിക്കുന്നത് ഏത് അസുഖമൊന്നുമില്ല പക്ഷെ he's asking whether he needs any friend doctors. Why is he asking for a doctor? Have any why Einstein wants to meet a doctor? Yes, he wants to be declared sick. Yes, he wants to go away from school so that the teacher will or the doctor will say that this man has got some sickness, so he'll have to go back home. So he's probably trying to get a medical certificate from the doctor so that he can go back to his home. So that is the idea. If had a breakdown and the doctor says that it is bad for me to go to school and I need to, so this is the suggestion for that. So he asked whether you know any doctors. So and Yuri says, I don't know doctors because I've never had enough money to go to one. But suppose if I had a nervous breakdown and the doctor says that it's not good for me to do that and I need to immediately leave the school, then it would be a good idea so that I can get away from the school. So this is his idea. He wants to take a break from the school. So normally a doctor will not say this, but understanding the situation of Einstein, Yuri suggests that he will try to help him. So that is the next paragraph. So he is asked whether you can find any good friendly doctors who can give some help by giving such a certificate. So he is asking whether you know any friendly doctors. Okay, Atulya Jayaprakash. Atulya, please read the highlighted part.
Hello?
Yes, read.
I can't imagine a doctor saying that, said Yuri. I must try, said Albert, to find a doctor who specializes in nerves. There are plenty of them. Yuri told him. He hesitated for a moment and then added, rather reluctantly, I will ask some of the students if they know what. No? If you like, will you? Thank you. Yuri Albert eyes were shining. Wait a moment, I haven't found one yet. Oh, but you will. And
If I do, I don't know if he will be willing to help you. Sorry.
So Albert's suggestion is that, yes. So Albert is telling that he wants to meet a doctor so that the doctor will give him a certificate that he has to leave the institution because he has got some nervous problem. So Yuri tells him that I can't imagine a doctor saying that, because doctors will not tell lies. If you really don't have any problem, how can they give you a certificate that you have such a problem? So that is what Yuri is saying, that I can't imagine a doctor saying that. So, but Albert says we must try to get a certificate, because I want to leave this institution immediately. So if I want to leave this institution, I want to get a certificate from a doctor. So who will give me this certificate? So let us find out who can give us such a certificate. So he hesitated for a moment. Hesitate means മടിച്ചു നിൽക്കുക. So reluctantly means hesitatingly. മടിച്ചു പറയുന്നതാണ്. So they have similar meanings. Hesitate and being reluctant. They all both have similar meaning. He hesitated for a moment. മടിച്ചു നിന്നു. വീണ്ടും മടിച്ചു പറഞ്ഞു. So these have similar meanings. And he said, I will ask one of the students, because he is studying in a college, so he will ask one of the students whether they know any doctor. So Yuri thanks him. Einstein thanks Yuri for promising to help him. So he says, I have not yet found a doctor, but I am sure you will find a doctor, because Yuri has a lot of connections with the student community because he is studying in a college. So Albert hopes that he will find a doctor, and such a doctor will surely help him. So he has a lot of hope in Yuri, and therefore he waits for Yuri's approval in finding a good doctor. Okay, the next. Gia.
Yes, sir. He will declares Albert, I am going to have a real nervous breakdown. To make it easier for him, he lowered merrily. I have never seen you looking less nervous, remarked Yuri. A day or two at school will soon put that right, Albert assured him. Certainly he had lost his high spirits when Yuri saw him next. I cannot stand it any longer, he said. I really shall have a nervous breakdown that will satisfy any doctor. Keep it up then, said Yuri. I will find a doctor for you. You have. Albert's face lit up. Oh God, when can I see him?
Yes. So he said that such a doctor, when you find such a doctor will surely give me such a certificate. He has a lot of hope that the doctor will give him a certificate. And every day his condition is becoming worse and worse. He was looking very nervous. ശരിക്കും nervous breakdownലേക്ക് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ nervous breakdown ഇല്ലാത്ത nervous breakdown ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് വാങ്ങിക്കാനാണ് ഐൻസ്റ്റൈൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നത്. പക്ഷേ ക്ലാസ്സിലിരുന്നിരുന്നിട്ട് സ്കൂളിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഓരോ ദിവസവും സ്കൂളിൽ പോകും തോറും ശരിക്കും അയാൾക്കൊരു നെർവസ് ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗൺ വരുന്ന സ്ഥിതിയിലേക്ക് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് വൈ in this part it is said that he had lost his high spirits when Yuri saw him next. So that is the problem, because when he goes to school he has a lot of problems. So he says, I really shall have a nervous breakdown. So the doctor will have no problem giving me a certificate. I can't stand it any longer. എനിക്കിത് സഹിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. To stand something means to സഹിക്കുക, to tolerate something. So I can't tolerate tolerate it any longer. What can't he tolerate the experiences at school? സ്കൂളിലുള്ള ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകളാണ് അയാൾക്ക് സഹിക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്തത്. So I really will have a nervous breakdown, so that will satisfy any doctor. The doctor can immediately give me a certificate. So the next time Yuri meets him, he gives him the good news that I have found a doctor for this. So Albert is very happy. So his only happiness is that the doctor is likely to give him a certificate. So the very next day, he has got an appointment for the doctor, and the details of the doctor are given in the next paragraph. So that is the next. Okay. Gaya. Gaya, read that paragraph. These people are not there, it seems. Niduna, please read. Niduna Katie.
Sir. Hello.
Yes, please read. Yeah, I can hear you.
I have an appointment for you for tomorrow evening. Yuri said, here is the address. The handed Albert a piece of paper. Dr. Ernest will he you knew him as a student him. I have known Ernest for years. Yuri hesitated for a few moments. He is not a fool. He wanted Albert. What do you mean? Hello?
Okay, I have an appointment. Yes. So I have an appointment for you tomorrow evening. So he has got him an appointment. Einstein has got an appointment for for Einstein the next evening. So he handed means gave, koduthu. Handed a piece of paper. So in that paper is written the name and address of the doctor. The name of the doctor is Dr. Ernest Weil. He is a doctor. He is a person who has qualified very recently. So that is what he says, that he is a person who has come out of medical school very recently. He qualified as a doctor last week. So Yuri says that you can even be his first patient. But medical college on the fresh doctor. So yeah, so that is why he is saying that you can meet him and get a certificate. but don't try to fool him. So he says that he is not a fool. Don't tell him that you have a problem which you actually don't have. So because he is not a fool, he is a well-educated and very recently graduated student from the medical college. So don't try to fool him. So that is the advice that Einstein is given by Yuri. So don't try to pull the wool over his eyes. This is an idiomatic usage. To pull the wool over someone's eyes is an idiom. Idioms എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള usages ആണ്. If you look up idioms, idioms are figurative usages. ആലങ്കാരികമായിട്ടുള്ള പ്രയോഗങ്ങളാണ് idioms. To pull the wool over someone's eyes is an idiom which means to try to fool someone. That's the meaning. ആരെങ്കിലും പറ്റിക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നത് തന്നെയാണ് to pull the wool over someone's eyes എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So Yuri advises Albert not to try to fool the doctor because he is not a fool. You cannot cheat him. So be frank with the doctor. So that is the advice that is given by Yuri. Don't pretend that you have some disease that which you don't have. So and Albert is not a person who actually never tries to cheat anyone. He's such a simple person. So that's why Yuri immediately adds, not that you would deceive anyone. നീ അങ്ങനെ ആരെങ്കിലും പറ്റിക്കും എന്നല്ല ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്. പക്ഷേ don't pretend that you have some disease that you don't have. നീ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യില്ല എങ്കിലും because you are the world's worst liar. സത്യം മാത്രം പറയുന്ന ആളാണ് ആൽബർട്ട്. അപ്പൊ നുണ പറയുന്നതിൽ വളരെ മോശമാണെന്നാണ് യൂറി പറയുന്നത്. Liar is someone who tells lies. So you are the world's worst liar means ഭയങ്കരമായി നുണ പറയുന്ന ആളാണെന്നല്ല, ഏറ്റവും മോശമായിട്ട് നുണ പറയാം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നുണ പറയാൻ അറിയാത്ത സത്യസന്ധനായിട്ടുള്ള വ്യക്തിയാണ് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ എന്നാണ് യൂറി പറയുന്നത്. So it's actually a kind of compliment, a tribute to Einstein's character, that he is a person of very good character, someone who can never tell lies. So that is the real statement. You are the world's worst liar means he is a person who can never tell lies. So that is Yuri's opinion of Einstein. So the next evening he has to meet the doctor and he is thinking what to tell the doctor. As the time for the appointment came up slowly, as the appointment time nearer, he was getting worried of what will I tell the doctor, and he actually became nervous. Nervous breakdown എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് മേടിക്കാൻ പോയതിന് അയാൾ ശരിക്കും നെർവസ് ആയ ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിലെത്തി. So that is his situation. He actually became quite nervous when the time for meeting the doctor came up. So in the next paragraph, the situation is in the doctor's cabin. He goes and meets the doctor in the clinic, and he tells the doctor that he has these troubles. Lakshmi, please read that.
Hello?
Yes, can read.
I don't really know how to describe my trouble, Doctor. Well, he began. Don't try, said the young doctor with a friendly smile. Yuri has already given me a history of the case. Oh, what did he say? Only that you want me to think you have had a nervous breakdown and say that you mustn't go back to the school. Oh dear, Albert says, well, he should not have told you that. Why not? Isn't it true then? Yes, that's the trouble. How you will say there's nothing wrong with me, and you will tell me to go back to school.
Yes. So he tells the doctor that I don't know how to tell you my problems because it is a long story. It is not a case of a disease. So don't try to tell me anything. The doctor says that because Yuri has already told me everything. So Albert becomes even more worried when he learns that Yuri has told him his problems. So Albert is becoming nervous. If Yuri has told him everything, maybe the doctor will not give him a certificate. അപ്പോൾ യൂറി ശരിക്കുള്ള സത്യങ്ങളൊക്കെയാണ് ഡോക്ടറോട് പറഞ്ഞതെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഡോക്ടർ ചിലപ്പോൾ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് തന്നില്ല പേടിയാണ്. So that is why Albert is telling him. He says that now you will say that there is nothing wrong with me. അപ്പോൾ ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ ഡോക്ടർക്ക് സത്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡോക്ടർ എന്ത് പറയും? തനിക്ക് കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല, സ്കൂളിൽ പോയി മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് പഠിച്ചോളാൻ പറയില്ലേ? അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഇവൻ്റെ പേടി, ആൽബർട്ടിൻ്റെ പേടി അതാണ്. That doctor may tell him that you have no problem and you go back to school. So he is worried. So the doctor says that don't think that I will say such things. I understand the problems of a student. How does he understand the problems of a student? Because he also has been a student very recently. അപ്പോൾ വളരെ അടുത്ത് കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് പാസ്സായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് പാസ്സായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഡോക്ടർ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് he understands the problems the students faces. So that is he assures Einstein that don't worry, even if he has everything about you, I am not going to give you such a punishment of going back to the same school. So, and I understand your problems, so, and therefore I will help you. Anjali.
Hello, sir.
Yes, read.
Don't be sure of that, said the doctor. As a matter of fact, pretty sure you are in a nervous state about the school, but I haven't told you anything about it, said Albert. Wide-eyed. How can you know that? Because you wouldn't have come to see me about this if you hadn't been pretty close to a nervous breakdown. That's you hadn't been pretty close to a nervous breakdown. That is why now, said the doctor briskly, if I certify that you have had a nervous breakdown and must stay away from school for a while, what will you do?
Yes. So this is the same kind of question that even Yuri asked. School എന്നൊക്കെ പോകുന്നൊക്കെ കൊള്ളാം, പക്ഷെ ഇതൊക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞ് have it for the future. So everybody who is interested in your future will ask you this question. ഇതൊക്കെ നിർത്തുന്നതൊക്കെ കൊള്ളാം, പക്ഷെ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഇതിനേക്കാൾ നല്ലതോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ നല്ലതായിട്ടുള്ള വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ മാത്രമല്ലേ നമ്മൾ വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും പോയിട്ട് കാര്യമുള്ളൂ. So that is what the doctor is also asking. What will you do after you leave the school? So the doctor understands that he is in a state of nervous breakdown. So that's why he says, I am pretty sure. Pretty sure means I'm very sure that you are in a nervous state about that school. I understand that you have a problem. So if you don't have any problem, you wouldn't have come and seen me. I understand it. Because if you don't have any such problem, you wouldn't have come to see me. That's why the doctor says, you wouldn't have come to see. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ എന്നെ വന്ന് കാണില്ലായിരുന്നു. So it shows that you have a problem. But if I give you a certificate, what will you do? So Albert says, I will go to Italy, my homeland, my home country. And what will you do there? So Albert says that I will go to another institution, go into a institute. So how can you get into the college? കോളേജിൽ പോകണമെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് വേണം? സ്കൂള് പാസ്സാവണം. സ്കൂള് പാസ്സാവാതെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു കോളേജിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രവേശനം കിട്ടുക എന്നാണ് ചോദ്യം. സോ സ്കൂളിലുള്ള എല്ലാവരും മോശമാണെന്നാണ്. ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് ട്രൂ. So he said that he tells the teacher, he tells the doctor that he is very good at maths. I'll ask my maths teacher to give me something about my work, some certificate of my work, and that will be enough. School പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന മാത്സ് മുഴുവൻ ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. I have learned everything that the school, whatever they teach of maths in the school, and something more than what they teach I have already learned. And then surely with that certificate I'll be able to get into any institution. So that gives the doctor the assurance that this person is not going to waste his time. So he is going to give him a certificate. So the doctor will give him a certificate because Albert promises that he is not going to waste his time after leaving the school. He is going to continue his studies. He will continue his studies in an Italian college or institution. How will he get an admission in the Italian college? Because he has got this, he will get a certificate from the maths teacher. So Einstein is not bad in all subjects. He is bad in those subjects which demand learning hard topics, especially subjects like history, where the subject demands you learn certain things by heart, especially the dates, facts. Einstein is a person who studies knowledge not for information. He does not equate information and knowledge. He considers that information is not knowledge. So that is his idea. So he is planning to leave the institution. He is going to get a certificate from the doctor, and he is going to give that certificate and get a TC from the school. So we'll discuss this and more in the next class. Thank you.